You think cancel culture is brutal? In 1326, medieval England didn't cancel Hugh Despenser the Younger. They erased him. Not quietly, not quickly. They turned his death into a 4-hour public spectacle so deliberately cruel that it still unsettles historians 7 centuries later. This isn't legend. We have eyewitness accounts, court records, monastic chronicles, and they all describe the same thing. A nation gathering to watch a man's body systematically destroyed, while the queen he helped imprison sat above the crowd, drinking wine. This is the story of how a minor knight became the most powerful man in England, and how that power made his end inevitable. It begins in 1316. Hugh Despenser the Younger is appointed royal chamberlain to King Edward II. On paper, the job is administrative. In reality, it makes him the most powerful unelected official in the kingdom. If you controlled every letter, every visitor, every private moment with the king, you controlled England. And Hugh understood that immediately. Within weeks, nothing reached Edward II without passing through Hugh's hands. Messages vanished. Petitions were delayed. Access became currency. A noble could travel for months, spend a fortune reaching court, and still never see the king, because Hugh didn't want them to. Edward II was the perfect target for this kind of control. Contemporary sources describe him as emotionally dependent, conflict-averse, and deeply uninterested in governance. He preferred manual labor to ruling, digging ditches, thatching roofs. Hugh made himself indispensable. He organized the king's day, filtered his world, shaped his reality. By 1320, the royal council had become an echo chamber. Those who questioned Hugh were removed. Those who obeyed were rewarded. Money followed power. By 1322, Hugh and his father had redirected nearly 40% of royal revenue into their own hands. No grant, no pardon, no appointment happened without a fee. One merchant seeking a routine trade license was charged 25 times the legal rate, then imprisoned for complaining. His family paid double just to see him released. And Edward II knew. Chroniclers are clear on this. The king didn't care. But Hugh didn't just rule England. He decided to destroy its queen. Isabella of France had been queen for 16 years. She was a political asset, a diplomat, and the mother of the king's heirs. To Hugh, she was a threat. In 1324, he dismantled her life piece by piece. In a single day, her lands were seized. 28 estates gone by dawn. Her income vanished. Her political voice erased. Her household followed. French servants arrested in night raids. Her physician imprisoned. Her confessor removed. Even comforting her became dangerous. A noblewoman fined heavily for offering her a handkerchief in public. Then Hugh took her children. Her young son removed from her care. Her daughter sent to Hugh's own estates. Visits restricted. Conversations monitored. Isabella described herself as a prisoner without walls. A queen without authority. A mother without children. Hugh believed he had neutralized her. He was wrong. In 1321, Hugh was briefly exiled. Most disgraced nobles waited quietly abroad. Hugh became a pirate. He attacked English ships in the Channel. Not randomly, but selectively, targeting merchants who had opposed him. He captured 16 major vessels in 3 months. Wool, wine, silver. He kept records. Ran piracy like a corporation. Edward II didn't stop him, because Edward planned to bring him back. And when Hugh returned in 1322, he returned stronger. What followed was the largest property theft campaign in medieval English history. Widows imprisoned until they signed estates away. Heirs accused of invented crimes. Documents forged. Judges intimidated. By 1326, Hugh controlled 41 castles and lordships. His income exceeded £12,000 a year, greater than many European princes. England was being devoured. Then Hugh crossed the final line. He began stealing from the church. And that's when everything turned. Opposition coalesced. Queen Isabella fled to France. There, she formed an alliance with Roger Mortimer. They returned with an army. Edward II collapsed almost instantly. Hugh fled. He was captured hiding near the Welsh border. What followed was not justice. It was theater. On November 24, 1326, the city of Hereford prepared for an execution unlike any before it. A 3-story platform was built for spectators. Vendors sold food. Crowds arrived from across the kingdom. Queen Isabella watched from above. Hugh was dragged naked through the streets, shaved, marked with accusations written on his skin. He was partially hanged, revived, then mutilated. Each act paused so charges could be read aloud. Each pause met with cheers. After 4 hours, he was finally beheaded. His body was quartered. The crowd voted on where the parts would go. His head to London Bridge, arms to York and Bristol, legs to Hereford and Northampton. And that wasn't the end. For 4 years, Hugh Despenser's remains were displayed across England. Tarred, guarded, maintained. Children played beneath them. Merchants used them as landmarks. It was political messaging written in flesh. Eventually, his wife was allowed to collect what remained. But medieval justice is cyclical. Roger Mortimer was executed 4 years later, dragged through the same streets, cheered by the same crowd. Queen Isabella lived under house arrest for 28 years, forced annually to pray at the site of Hugh's death. Everyone who helped destroy him paid a price. And that is the real lesson of Hugh Despenser. Not that power corrupts, but that absolute vengeance consumes everyone who feeds it. Medieval England didn't invent public shaming, perfected it. We've just replaced scaffolds with screens and body parts with reputations. History didn't get kinder, it just got quieter.